At 50, Leonardo DiCaprio finally broke his silence. After decades of fame, love affairs, and whispered headlines, he admitted what few ever expected. "I've never been afraid of being alone. I'm afraid of losing myself for someone else." The man Hollywood calls Eternal Bachelor is no longer just a mystery. He's a confession. What you're about to hear may completely change the way the world sees Leonardo DiCaprio. Hollywood, mid-1990s. A young man with piercing blue eyes and an almost fragile smile walks onto the set of Titanic. No one knew then that this boy, Leonardo Wilhelm DiCaprio, would soon become the face of an entire generation's dreams. He wasn't born into privilege. Raised by a single mother in Los Angeles, Leonardo grew up surrounded by chaos, broken streets, odd characters, and an endless hunger to escape. Acting wasn't just his passion, it was his lifeboat. After Romeo p. Juliet and Titanic, the world screamed his name. Girls cried at airports, paparazzi chased him through alleys. In one night, he went from a promising actor to a global obsession. But behind the flash of cameras, Leonardo was quietly building a wall, one that fame, love, and even Hollywood itself couldn't break. He refused to be another star consumed by the system. No scandals, no marriages, no confessions. Just work, films, and an enigmatic silence that drove everyone insane. And yet, that same silence would later become the most controversial thing about him. Fame came like a storm, loud, beautiful, and merciless. After Titanic, Leonardo's face was everywhere. Magazines called him the world's most desirable man. Fans camped outside his hotel rooms. Hollywood offered him everything: money, status, power. But what it really gave him was a cage made of gold. As other stars drowned in excess, Leonardo built his escape route: work. He began turning down romantic leads, rejecting the roles that made him a heartthrob. Instead, he sought pain, darkness, and depth. The Beach, The Aviator, Blood Diamond, Shutter Island. Every film became a battle, not with others, but with himself. He once admitted in a rare interview, "I don't chase happiness, I chase meaning." But as his career rose higher, his personal life became a battlefield of speculation. Every woman he dated, from supermodels to actresses, was seen as the one who might finally change him. Yet every time, the story ended the same way: quiet distance, polite breakup, and tabloids screaming, "DiCaprio refuses to settle." Critics mocked him. "He'll date anyone under 25. Memes flooded social media. Late-night hosts joked about it on TV. But behind those jokes was something darker. A man aging in the spotlight, constantly watched yet profoundly alone. Leonardo had built a life that millions envied: private jets, oceanside mansions, Oscar trophies, yet he remained emotionally untouchable. Friends said he had two fears: growing old and being ordinary. He lived surrounded by beauty, but he trusted almost no one. In 2016, when he finally won his long-awaited Oscar for The Revenant, the world celebrated, cameras caught him smiling, humbled, holding the golden statue. But what few noticed was the look in his eyes: distant, searching, almost melancholic. It wasn't victory. It was realization. He had everything, but maybe not what he truly wanted. The applause faded, but the question lingered. Had Leonardo DiCaprio traded love for greatness? For years, people thought they knew Leonardo DiCaprio, the charming playboy who refused to settle down. But few ever saw the truth behind the myth. In a quiet 2020 interview that barely made headlines, a close friend revealed something that changed everything. Leo doesn't fall in love easily. He fears what comes after: the loss of control. According to those who worked closest to him, Leonardo's resistance to commitment wasn't arrogance. It was protection. From a young age, he watched the people he loved fall apart: his parents' broken marriage, friends consumed by addiction, fame devouring lives faster than success could save them. He learned early that love in Hollywood rarely survived the spotlight. He believes stability kills creativity, another insider once said. He lives in motion. If he stops, he feels lost. And maybe that's the tragedy. Behind the laughter, the yachts, the glamorous premieres, Leonardo was haunted by an invisible question. What if happiness means giving up the very thing that defines me? In 2022, when a journalist asked him whether he ever imagined having children, Leonardo smiled faintly before answering, "I think about the planet's future more than my own." The answer sounded noble, environmental, thoughtful, but to those who truly knew him, it was another shield. He had mastered the art of turning vulnerability into intellect, of hiding pain behind purpose. Privately, a former girlfriend once described him as the loneliest man in every room. "He'd hold your hand," she said, "but you could feel he was already somewhere else, lost in his head, thinking of a film, a role, a life that wasn't real." That was Leonardo's truth. He didn't refuse love out of pride. He refused it out of fear. Fear of losing himself, fear of becoming ordinary, fear of being known too well. For the first time, the mystery wasn't about the women he dated. It was about the man he was trying to understand, himself. The world never stopped watching Leonardo DiCaprio, not even when he stopped talking. Every time a new photograph surfaced, a yacht in Ibiza, a party in Cannes, a dinner with another model, headlines followed like echoes. Same story, different face. Some called him shallow, others called him smart. The tabloids mocked his dating patterns, yet the industry respected his focus. While gossip pages obsessed over his private life, Leonardo was quietly funding ocean conservation projects, producing documentaries about climate change, and mentoring young filmmakers who couldn't get Hollywood's attention. He no longer needed to defend himself. His work did it for him. "I've seen fame destroy more people than drugs," he once said, "so I just keep my distance." And still, the jokes continued. On social media, fans made timelines comparing his girlfriends' ages. Late-night hosts turned his love life into punchlines. Yet, each time, Leonardo remained silent. No rebuttal, no anger, just the same calm smile. Some saw that silence as arrogance. Others saw it as strength. Film critics noted how his recent performances felt heavier, more personal, as if every role had become a confession. In Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, his character, an aging actor terrified of becoming irrelevant, mirrored Leonardo's own battle with time. He wasn't playing a role, one director said. He was confronting himself. Over the years, the narrative began to shift. People stopped mocking his choices and started understanding them. They saw a man who had spent his entire life performing for the world, now quietly performing for meaning. Fans grew protective. Comments under old videos changed from ridicule to reflection. Maybe he doesn't want to settle. Maybe he just wants peace. And as his public image softened, so did Leonardo himself. He started appearing at environmental forums instead of after parties. His interviews became fewer but more thoughtful. The boy who once ran from the spotlight was now using it to shine on something larger than himself. Some believe he's finally at peace, a man who chose solitude over chaos, purpose over romance. Others think it's just another role, the final transformation of an actor who never stopped pretending. But one thing is clear. Leonardo DiCaprio has become the story he spent his life avoiding. After all the fame, the love stories, the silence, Leonardo DiCaprio remains an enigma. He has lived 1,000 lives on screen, but still hides the one that truly matters, his own. Maybe he was never afraid of love. Maybe he was afraid of what love could take away. His freedom, his art, his identity. For some, that makes him cold. For others, it makes him human. As the world keeps chasing fairy tales, Leonardo walks alone, a man who chose meaning over marriage, solitude over noise, purpose over perfection. And perhaps that's the real victory, knowing when not to surrender. But the question lingers. Has Leonardo DiCaprio truly found peace, or has he just learned how to live without it? And you, what do you believe?